Everyone, Kim here, Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me for another Mystery Mystic reading. We are continuing our exploration of the devastating and tragic case of Noah Presgrove. For an introduction to this case and the opening oracle readings, be sure to check out parts 1 and 2, which will have links in the description box. Okay, so check them out because it's what helps to give me more direction on the types of questions that I ask during this reading, the Tarot and Oracle reading. This time we're incorporating Tarot. New Era Elements Tarot. That's what I'm using. All right, so our first question is, why do the police feel it's not murder? Okay. If they're not treating this as a homicide, what is their working theory? Got the death card. Okay. Okay. To a fire. Domination is the key word, but it's like 2 of Wands. It's in reverse. Next to the death card, I'll show you in a moment. And strength. Okay. And remember, this is to our question of why did the police not indicate that they're investigating it as a homicide? I'm going to show you some stuff in a moment. Okay. So, this is why we have here death in reverse. This death card is interesting because front and center is skeleton, right? The skull, the bone, like that right off the bat. You know, if you are a collector of tarot decks, you know there's many, many different depictions of the death card. And it's not lost on me that this skull is shown here. All right. Concealed or hidden. What is concealed or hidden? Now, some of us would be like, oh, a conspiracy. You know, they don't think that. But you know what I think this is speaking to, since it's sitting underneath this skull, is a concealed or hidden how do you say, injury. Couldn't even spit it out. So we now, you know, we know about the ATV or UTV accident or side by side. Now I know, after spending some time with the case after I did the opening oracle readings, and that he took a tumble to the point where he's muddied, right? The police are thinking it's not a homicide because they think that he sustained a concealed, something changed in that moment. Something concealed, a hidden injury that no one was really, could be aware of. Okay? Wow. And I'd be curious to hear what your interpretations are of these cards too. We have the 2 of Wands in reverse, 2 of Fire. And you see, it's like, okay, like it looks like a mighty arm wrestling situation happening. But in reverse, is that really happening? Like they either, police are not just, they're just choosing not to go down the path of there being a altercation that led to people lying or hiding the truth. That's what these cards are telling me, because the 2 of Wands is over this card and it's in reverse. So it's saying they don't believe a struggle happened between people at the party or that he was involved in some sort of conflict. So this is why they have eliminated this whole notion of homicide or murder. Okay, this is why they don't think that. Their working theory is that he sustained some sort of injury that was not seen. not known, hidden. Then we have the strength in reverse. Like the people who were there would not have anything strong enough to cause such a violent impact to him. I'm just speaking. I know people have their theories. Your theories are just as good as anyone else. I'm not knocking your theory. In fact, I'm fascinated by everybody's take on this case. Really and truly, I am keeping an open mind. But I'm tapping into the energies of law enforcement. They do not believe that the people at the party or the people around him, or even just people, somebody who might have gone by, like on the road, some nefarious character who was looking for trouble. They don't believe that. Now, what I am taking away from this too is like the strength in reverse. Look at this card. It shows a father lion figure, a male lion, and then I guess a cub. They don't believe in any element of foul play as it relates to what people are, allegedly saying about Noah's best friend and Noah's best friend's father. So they don't believe that. They believe that he just lost strength. Noah somehow made his way to the road, and it's not a hit and run because the person this is police theory, the person who may have hit him in a big rig, he could have been just kind of laying down and gone, the big rig goes by, or some big large truck. You know those large trucks that have hips and they're really heavy duty, maybe even sits up high. They may not know that they hit something, but they could. So in their mind, and then he just had internal bleeding and died with the drowning card. Drowning often can denote that it's at our own hands. It's an accident. It can also mean that somebody else drowns you for sure. But in the context of this strength card being in reverse over the drowning card, I feel like they just don't think that there was any element of foul play. They think it was an unfortunate set of events. And also it is a strategy for them, police, to put it out to someone who may have been driving through that area that night and recall hitting something. And it pacifies that person who could have potentially hit him as they're driving along the path or the highway that he's on, and say, look, it's not a hit and run. We're not going to arrest you or anything like that. That's the signal from law enforcement to this person that they think is out there. This is their working theory. This is where they're going, law enforcement, okay? This is why. They're not treating it as a homicide. They're not treating it as a hit and run. Yeah, so that answers that. I had that as question number 1. Next question. What were the circumstances surrounding his cause of death? Surrounding Noah's cause of death. Ooh. The Lovers in reverse. All right, that one flew out. The Moon. Ooh. My tarot reading friends will know the significance. Father of Air flew into my lap. What were the circumstances surrounding Noah's cause of death? Look at that. Hit and run. This is a 160 card oracle deck. Secrets Reveal True Crime Oracle. So when certain cards come out, it's like we have to take note of it. Drama filled. Oh, Spirit is still steering us in a different direction than what law enforcement is thinking. Bones. All right. So, we know where the direction of law enforcement, local law enforcement, is going as it relates to their working theory surrounding Noah's death. Here is the circumstances, allegedly. We have here the reverse Lovers. Okay. And if you look here, now I know this depiction shows an old couple and there's like little flags on this tree, probably their offspring. But it almost feels like there's, to this tree, it's like a connected tree of like characters who are dating or involved with one another. That's how I'm taking it. In reverse, what could that mean? Well, it could mean significant disagreements, someone giving an ultimatum, someone giving a choice that they needed to make related to a love situation or a relationship situation, a love gone wrong situation, too many hands in the pot, is what I'm getting a sense of with the Lovers in reverse. Now, let's have these sitting here together. The Moon, and this is where I said my tarot reading friends would understand the significance between these two cards. The Moon next to the reverse Lovers. Secrets can denote some allegations of infidelity or an affair energy. Secrets, deep emotions running deep with the situation as it relates to this. This is the circumstances. Now, I just find it interesting. Like, could he have been injured by the UTV? Right? He could have. He very well could have. If he got muddied up and he needed a shower, which is questionable why, somebody else would need to give him a shower, he's probably injured. But I just feel like there's something else that was brewing just before, during, and after that accident. And it compounded whatever he was internally going through. Okay. Okay. Then we have Father of Air. Father of Air. This is somebody's literal father or someone who's seen things, witnessed things, knows the secrets. And some people, would probably say, well, why do the kids, the partygoers, have to lie? And that's a good statement. But you have to understand, like, there was underage drinking. Right? Just right off the bat. We know that. This is a long weekend party. Then there's it's a rollover, even though Noah is, ultimately solely responsible for that UTV accident. There was still that. And so that's a huge liability. When you think about the Murdaugh trial with the boating situation. Yes, the kids were on the boat. Alex Murdaugh, what's his name? Oh, I can't. Buster? Oh, God. I'm getting them all mixed up. Forgive me. But the Murdaugh situation. The boat, right? Some kids end up being seriously injured. One dies. And that's a huge liability. Even if the children willingly, or the young people, I think they were young adults, I don't know, go out on the boat by their own volition. Doesn't matter. Huge liability. So someone knows the bones of the situation. The bones too. It's metaphorical for like secrets, things, skeletons in the closet kind of energy, but also seeing something, knowing something that I don't know. And then the father brings up all sorts of things. I'm sure you all will, know what I'm talking about, who's been following this case. Let's get into the other oracle cards. We have Hit and Run. Hit and Run. The Lovers in reverse over the Hit and Run. It's not really what it seems. It could be that a vehicle was involved, but it's not what is the cause of how he got there. Okay? Think about this. If he's in a state going into the shower, needing a shower, he's muddy, probably even, had some cuts and bruises from the rollover incident or whatever it was, the upset of that vehicle, that UTV. He needs a shower, people say. They have to help him. That means he could have been going through some concussive symptoms at that point. And then what appears to people that he's drunk or under the influence of something, it probably wasn't. And he probably was like leaning on girls. It was just like issues, compounding issues. They were playing this game. I don't know when in the night they were playing this game where they're slapping each other. But for those party goers to say that he needed a help in the shower to wash off with a blood alcohol content level of 0.14, which you would be feeling nice, but I would imagine you'd be able to go in and take your own shower. You know, I don't know. It's a lot. But I just feel like because the Lovers is in reverse over the hit and run, this could be something that is not what it appears. A vehicle could have. The only thing that I question is why, if it was a vehicle, why are there no tire marks on him? There's no mention of that from what I can see. I could be wrong. So it's something like it's not what it appears, and it's drama filled. Drama in the situation. Now this card could represent all the drama that's been circulating in the rumor mills locally and beyond. But I think it's about the circumstances surrounding this situation. It's way more cut and dry than just a simple accident. I'm always for the thought of let's approach it, Occam's razor type of situation. What is the most likely path to it? Are these kids unreliable because they have been drinking and they just don't remember it? I don't know, because there were certain things stated about how he showed up in the road. Conflicting statements on key things. That's what's troubling. That and the clothes neatly, folded. I don't know. I can't tell. I keep coming across conflicting information about the clothes. I know the teeth is the issue. Yeah, I don't know. All right, I'm going to pause here and go on to the next question. Does his friends know more about what happened to him? Do they know more? Or are they just some drunk folk? They know more. The strength card is a strong yes. They know more. Spirit, what is the nature of what it is that they know? Son of water. A person, a young person. Involvement. Daughter of fire. Okay, I'll show you. So we have a yes. They know more. And they're willing to share and cough up. What do they know more about? People, key players. The son of water, daughter of fire. Okay. A knight of cups and a page of wands. People. Some information about a love situation that has gone awry. Look at that. Okay. Some key players they know some information about. And we got motive, monetary gain. Now, in the other opening oracle readings we've done on Noah's case, there were other motives. The main motivation for what has all transpired here is just a series of terrible choices that led us to where he's at now. I mean, but hey, that's what it is. But another thing that is at hand here that I touched on earlier is money motivated. You're probably like, well, Kim, why would you say that? Why would you say that? My background of almost 19 years was in claims, handling claims, injury, fatality claims, investigating these types of things. And so it can be more than one motive. Why? Because there's two or more involved. Allegedly. Allegedly, folks. Circumstantial evidence. So people know about evidence. Look, they know. They know where key evidence was taken to or discarded to. They know. They know. They can look at probably the pictures and videos of piecing together the night. Like if you took all of collectively all the videos and pictures that were taken at the party and just lay it out based on in chronological order, you'd be able to really, you could see some things. I don't know if someone's already done that, but if they did, I'd be interested in looking at it. Okay, moving on to the next question. What clues or evidence will illuminate what really happened to Noah? Okay, Two of Earth, change, Two of Pentacles. Oh, Mother of Water. Someone growing into womanhood. A couple years from now. Speaking on what may have happened or what was the circumstances. We have 10 of Fire, 10 of Wands. Motive, jealousy. See, that's what I was saying. It's like multiple different motivations as to why everybody needs to keep things on the hush. Look, I said that. Regrets, remorse. Someone feeling regretful about things. I also want to show you all something that came up in the last reading I want to ask you about. So please stay tuned to the end. I don't want to throw us off this reading, but there's a card from the last reading that I need your input on. And for those who've been following the case. So stay tuned for that. I'm not going to forget because it's from this deck. Okay, so let's do one more. Abused, neglect, yes. Okay. Feels like it's going to be some kind of witness statement that's going to come about once this woman has gone through some sort of change into adulthood. Two of Pentacles can represent the timing of up to 2 years. In this case, with this Two of Pentacles or Two of Coins, Two of Earth, we have here a change, a woman maybe growing from a young, page to the mother, the Queen of Cups. She can't hold on to something. She has to share something. She's holding some sort of information, a book here, some context, concrete context, maybe text messages or something like that, revealing regrets and remorse. It could be representing her regrets and remorse. So this could be a young woman who grows into womanhood who's allegedly involved in this situation. Regrets and remorse, information about jealousy or a potential motive for jealousy. The thing that really caused something to blow up, It was like you added that combustible situation and it just blew up. And someone was abused, oppressed. It could be Noah. Abused, neglected, which is sad because I think that one takeaway, I know with Noah, there's something else going on, but just a takeaway. And I've had friends who have had fractured ribs and they're on ATVs and they end up, tumbling and having fractured clavicles and ribs and all sorts of things and don't go and seek immediate medical treatment. Yes, I know there was a nurse at the party, but she's not going to know that there could have been some sort of internal injuries going on that could also have been this causing the symptoms he was experiencing, but people thinking he's just being extra or drunk, and he's not. And so that led to him not getting medical care, and it led to him probably saying stuff or doing things that were like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And people, it ramping up the fights. So what his friends allegedly could be holding on to is that animosity. We saw that with the antagonistic card in the opening oracle reading. They knew of fights breaking out that involved Noah. They feel guilty. They feel somehow complicit to what happened. And so there's some kind of information that will be coming out. Maybe this person has already kind of given some information to someone, and it finally makes its way to causing some sort of movement in his case. I pray it doesn't take 2 years, but it's already been several months. But September of last year is when this happened. And I'm recording this on July 29th, 2024. So there's already been some time. So I'm praying that the family gets more answers. But yeah, that's what I'm picking up on. Let me see how many more questions I have. I have to take my daughter to Taekwondo, so I may have to pause this and then leave all the cards on the table and come back and reconnect. We'll see. Okay, so we're gonna ask, and I am gonna stop here because I hear my daughter shuffling about at the door. Will we ever find out what happened to Noah? Like truly get like full-on illumination, like it's clear about what's going on here. Four of Cups, maybe. We'll never know the scope at which, the level of which, and the why people wanted to cover things up. But we will get some more insights. There will be more information coming forth where the family can understand a bit better about the circumstances leading up to his death. So that's what I'm getting here with this Four of Cups. Okay. I'll pull just... yeah. Look at that. Look at that. So this card was in reverse. Seven of Swords or Seven of Air. But it was in reverse. Deception. Remember I just said we may not get the full scope of how deep this goes, but they will get some answers. And let's see in the oracle like what those answers could be. Somebody having nothing to lose. Timeline. Family members. Okay. We have here nothing to lose. Timeline. Remember I was saying there's something about just piecing together even like the moments that led up to the weekend. Like we're talking days, maybe even weeks. And then as you get to a final countdown of the weekend, like if I could imagine if a film was done about this case where they would like start the clock, like maybe the party planning on Thursday or something, or he hears about it. Noah hears he wants to show up and he's contemplating whether to go. And then you go through the timeline. I could see how, you know how movies are made, to discuss a case such as this. But that's how I see like the family will get some more information about the timeline of events. Someone who had nothing to lose. And then we have family members, some level of involvement of family members to which they know information. So that's interesting. But we may never know how, because there is some level of protection going on in this case, allegedly. I saw that in the earlier parts. And so there, with that protection comes you're not going to get the full story. Okay, but we will get some answers. That's what this Four of Cups is saying. About some level of deception. Betrayal. Acting in one's own best interest is associated with the Seven of Swords. Strategy. Keeping things under wraps. All right, friends, I am going to pause here. I do have Let's see. Oh, I might have a little more time. I'm going to see if I can squeeze in more. I just don't like to rush it. I do have 2 more questions. So maybe what I'll do is I will stop here, take a picture of these cards, and then do the last 2 questions that I have. And then we'll have a clearer table when I get back from my errand. Now we are at the next question. Are there any red herrings in this case that may be throwing everyone off? Are there any red herrings? Okay. I think this is interesting. This says no. This is a no card. And I have to say this. It's rare in these true crime cases to get a no. But like this tells me what we see is what we get with this case, right? What we're seeing is what we are getting. It is, you know, the work that people have been doing to unpack what has happened to Noah. Hold on. I need to really get a grip on my deck. What has happened is what it is. Like, and what I mean by that is, oh my goodness. What I mean by that is there's been questions about, did he walk there? How did he get there? And was there altercations that were involved? Was a factor in what happened to him or what led up to him, you know, dying? I think so. I think there was some compounding factors that started in the house, and we have contamination, movement, and I think that the people are generally on the right track in terms of what they're thinking has unfolded with him. Now, does that translate to us getting down to the bottom of things? That remains to be seen. But this does tell me that what we are seeing, what we are believing, what we're feeling in our intuition about this case is what it is. It's unsettling, as many of these cases are, but it really is, because it's like, oh God, to know that this could be the actual truth, that there was something going down amongst the friend groups at this party, at this house. And then there's contamination all throughout this investigation. Yeah, that is scary. It's sad too. It's sad. People have been really unearthing some things, and what they've been unearthing is actually validating that his friends were not really, I don't know. I know that, you know, let me just stop there. I'll just stop there. But, no red herrings. What we see is what we're getting, which is interesting. Now we want to know what is next for this investigation. What's next for the investigation? Because law enforcement has said that the investigation is still open. Okay. All right, 4 water. People's like sitting ducks. Quiet. Five of air in reverse. It says defeat, but in reverse. This could be that someone is overcoming. There's hope. With the star card, there is hope for more answers to come. We saw that earlier in one of the questions that we asked about what clues or evidence will illuminate what happened to him, right? So there will be a point where the family does get some answers. They will no longer feel defeated by what they don't know about what happened to Noah. The star is about a wish fulfilled. What is that wish? That the answers come. Now, in terms of will justice come, that, you know, accessory after the fact, that remains to be seen. I'll ask that, will we see justice and in what form? Deviant or pervert. I'm not quite sure of how that isolated. Will justice come? Wow. Another star card. That's so telling. It is a yes. It's about hope, healing, keeping the faith, keeping at it, pursuing the truth. We talked earlier about what type of evidence could come in. It's going to take a witness coming forward. The two stars, we've got two different star cards, are indicating that it's important to keep hope alive. Something of significance could be happening for the case, either in the past, January 21st to February 20th, or in the future, during that time period. That goes with the Five of Air. Five of Air represents mid-winter, or the timing of 5 months. Something coming out about somebody's level of involvement after the fact, covering up something, willing or unwilling, wittingly or unwittingly, cover up something, trying to choke back the truth, trying to cover up things to make it seem like this was all Noah's doing. I just think that we need to, and I'm hoping law enforcement goes back to it, where if he was struggling, and maybe he's sober, maybe he quote unquote sobered up by the time he left the home and he did start walking. I don't think that's what happened. I think that he was already showing signs of distress, but they didn't realize that when he was taking a shower, and things just progressively got worse. I don't see that it really. I think he died. I think he died at the house. I think that's what I think. You know, that's my opinion. But and then he was moved. Let's ask, was he moved? Was someone did someone move him? Yeah, look at that. Eight of Wands is a yes card, and you're not going to be able to see it very closely, but we have movement. And so that's the part. I think they, you know, he was already in a way, and somehow a fight broke out, and he was placed in a way where he could be struck. He was moved. He was moved there. Okay. Yeah, somebody trying to bury the truth. His grave, where he was moved, like he was moved there. And I suppose with the lack of, I mean, the blood was also, they said there was a lot of blood loss, but it was internal. But I'm thinking that the lack of blood or what have you could be because he just was not already, he was barely alive by the time he was on the roadway, allegedly. We have the law enforcement card, crime of passion. Yeah. Power control. Flight risk. So, yeah. my question here was he moved? He was. Rapid action. Speed at which he was hit. It would literally, the type of damage that his body sustained, he would have to be on, you know, it would have to be something with a lot of G-forces. I don't know if that is something that could happen with just fights or even golf clubs or even, I don't know, you know. This is also, when I see these, the Eight of Wands, these wands, it's like weapons of some sort. Law enforcement. Crime of passion. Someone exerting power. Crime of passion. It's like, okay, this was a spontaneous thing that happened. And whoever is in the know or very much involved with this crime of passion and power control, it poses a flight risk if it gets too hot on the block for this person. What I mean by that, the strategy with law enforcement could be that they're trying to lure out the information or have the person or persons who are involved believe that no, it's not they're not investigating as a homicide. No, they don't suspect a hit and run. They're really treating it like just as unusual death. And so that causes the persons who are involved, their guards to come down. So people start talking again. Because right now everybody is hush. There's some people who just don't remember. There's some people who just don't know what happened to him. And then there's people who do. And then there's people who were involved in this power struggle, this power control, as it relates to a crime of passion. Very spur of the moment. So in the law enforcement card, I know some people are saying that there's some sort of, you know, conspiracy around like the law enforcement in this area. I don't know much about the dynamics of that, so I can't speak on it. But maybe this speaks something to you all. I don't know. But the law enforcement card could also just be that they may recognize a lot more than what is being revealed. Let me ask this. Is law enforcement... Are they keeping back information? Yeah, they are. They're parading things around as if, oh no, we're not working under the suspicion of a homicide. We're not saying this is a hit and run. This is a strategy that they're doing. Okay. Impulse. Spirit just keeps wanting to drive this home. This card came up in the last one. And then we'll wrap up because I don't want the video to be too much longer. This one tried to come out. Impulse. This was an impulse thing that happened. I know that maybe some people believe that this was all planned, but it wasn't. This was all just really poor decision upon poor decision upon poor decision. Impulse leading to another impulsive moment. Also, this is answering the question that Spirit is saying, yeah, law enforcement is kind of putting out a ruse. They're trying to see who will impulsively volunteer information that they can move forward. So there's that. These two cards are telling me that someone is involved or in the know about what happened to him in terms of his injuries. He had a whole host of injuries. That night his body was riddled with all sorts of injuries. And then the fatal blows happened on the side, like on the, at the house. But then as we get to the road, I mean, something finished him off as he got to the road. I can't speak to that, but when I see cards like this indicates that there is someone else at hand here. Yeah. All right, friends, I think we're going to wrap up here. And I am praying that answers do come. I didn't pull any timing cards, you know, because I touched on timing with different cards in the tarot here. If necessary, I can come back and do another reading just exclusively looking at that. But for now, we'll just see how things develop, especially over the next 5 months or so with this case. I do get a sense that police is just kind of just having to sit back and kind of wait. That is what this Four of Cups is about. Having to sit back and wait and watch and see who comes, you know, comes forward, who cracks. Because at this point, there's been a lot of contamination and covering up that has gone on. And it's going to take someone talking, producing some form of information that could help move the case. And I mean information maybe on their phone or something that could help them to unlock the players who are covering it up. And again, I just don't know if it's like, okay, someone is attacking him and just are so blind rage that they take him out. I really think it's those situations. And we had a friend who passed away, who had a heart condition. And he always ended up putting himself in these situations that were questionable. And he got into a fight, and that was unbeknownst to the guy who he was fighting. And it ended up triggering a heart attack episode in this guy, our friend. He's in his 30s. You would never expect that he had an underlying issue going on. And so the fight happens and he dies. And it was terrible. And with this situation, I think with Noah, I think the injuries that he sustained were more significant than they thought from the tumble with the UTV. And it may have had him behaving in a way that looked drunk. And he may have been doing different things that were questionable even before all of this happened. So people were in their feelings and mistreating him and hurting him. And it compounded the injuries he already had. And when he started to succumb, people panicked. And it was just in someone's mind, older mind, someone who's older, felt it best to just say, you know what, you all, let's just, you know, he's gone. Let's just do what we need to do. It's going to cause more problems down the line and us having to answer questions about all of this. We don't want to do that. So that's my take on it. You know, let me know what you all... There is one last bit I wanted to ask you all about, and it's this card. So in part 2 of the opening oracle reading that we did, this card came up, and it's the keyword uncle right there. You can barely see it. But what stands out is the casino card. And in the, like, I guess last few days, it came across my attention that someone who works at a casino may have some information or something happened near a casino. And I'm asking those who are in the know in Noah's case, if you know how a casino could possibly be tied to this case. Because I was going down the direction of the uncle card. I may have mentioned, I didn't watch the video back yet, but I may have mentioned something about the casino. But I found that so interesting. And in parts 1 and 2, we got 2 different cards that were like dumpster, trash, that type, those cards from 2 different decks. And then this card came up. And so I found that interesting. So if any of you know about what this casino uncle card could be speaking to, let me know in the comment section down below. This has been quite a challenging case because, you know, the injuries that Noah sustained are just unimaginable, horrific, and he's so young, 19 years old, and his poor family is just going through it, just trying to make sure that answers come, no matter what those answers are. And so I am praying for their strength as they continue for their fight for answers and for justice and for somehow piecing together what happened to Noah. This is heavy, friends, and I'm going to sit with this one for a while. I may revisit it later. Like I mentioned earlier, we'll see what else comes out and see what warrants another reading. Sometimes no other additional readings are warranted, because if we come back later down the line and we look at some of these cards again, they can reveal information that we may have missed when we first did the reading, right? So it's not always necessary to keep doing reading after reading after reading, because oftentimes the clues were already given in the readings. So I'm going to sit with it and see what comes up and see what you all have to say in the comments section. All right, friends, do me a favor. On your way out, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support means so much to me, and I just appreciate your comments, the case suggestions, your intuitive insights. You all really open your heart in sharing in those comment sections, so I really appreciate that so much. Please take very good care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.